Only 4 elixir to stop the Mega Knight? No worries, there are a lot of available options, and I'd like to show you which full counters I recorded for you. I'll start with the solo counters and end with the combos. Let's start right away, no time to waste. Let's start with the single counters or solo counters or one card counters, whatever definition works the best. And I like to start with the cheapest possibilities. And the cheapest way to counter the MK is with the 1 elixir evolved skeletons. As long as you place them around the MK, you'll be fine. Another cheap counter is with the bandit, and I have to warn you, it's very hard to time this counter, so I would suggest to use another 1 elixir card next to this. I have an example of this in the next chapter. If you time it correctly, the jump damage is absorbed by the dash of the bandit, and with help of both towers you stop him completely. The next 3 elixir example is with the tombstone. You have to use the same placement and timing as this example, because if you're slightly off in position or timing, the MK might jump the tower instead of the skeletons. With help of both towers, the knight is also able to stop the MK. The reach of the tower princess is 7.5 tiles, so try to lure him in that radius. And obviously the evil knight will do the trick as well. On a quick side note, there are 2 possibilities to counter the MK. In the first option you can try to avoid the jump, but you'll only have assistance of 1 tower. In the second option you lure into the middle, you'll take some jump damage, but you have assistance of 2 towers. In all examples in this video I compared both options, and the example I'm showing you is the one where the least amount of damage was taken, as you can see in this summary. The next example is with the fisherman, and the reason why I'm pulling them MK to this position is because I'm getting help of both towers, but also to create distance to the nearest tower, so the MK isn't able to jump to the tower from this position, and he has to take a couple of steps to do so. The lumberjack and the mini P.E.K.K.A. are also able to counter the Mega Knight. For the mini P.E.K.K.A. it's best to approach the MK this way, because in this way he'll leave this encounter with more HP. You can use the lumberjack for the middle place counter as well, because he will die in both ways. The mighty miner is also a good counter, and just like the rest of the examples it's only 4 elixir, so you'll have a positive elixir trade of 3. The dark prince can do the same. Most of the solo counters are very easy to pull off, so I'll speed up the examples unless I got something to tell you or show you. If you like to use the Valkyrie for a counter, it's better again to have assistance of both towers, cause she can take the damage of the jump. But if you use the evolved version, you can use her ability to move the MK to the middle. In this case you don't need to take the damage of the jump, cause her Access Tornado will pull the MK closer to the second tower. The Battle Healer and the Golden Knight are also able to stop him completely. The Battle Ram isn't the most obvious choice to use in defense, but if you're out of options, they can do the trick as well, as you can see in this example. This will only work if you give the MK the time to destroy the ram. If you place the Battle Ram higher, they will outrun the MK and he will attack our tower. The best use for the Skeleton King is also with help of both towers. This video wouldn't be complete without the Hunter, because his well-deserved nickname is Tank Killer. Try to position him close enough so the MK won't jump you, but not too close, because you'll need 3 shots to take him out. A 3 tile distance when you spawn is perfect for this. That brings us to the last example in this chapter, the Goblin Cage, and again you'll need the help of the other tower. Unless you have the evolved Goblin Cage, because that card can easily devour a lot of big units. That's it, let's go to the next chapter, the combo counters. The combo counters. Different ways to stop the MK with 2 cards. I mentioned the bandit in the first chapter. If you use another spirit next to it, you'll make it easier for yourself. The counter with just the bandit is hard to pull off, and for only 1 elixir extra, you'll play it a bit safer. There are different combinations with the Ice Golem and they will all work pretty well. Right now we use the Bomber next to it. In this way the Ice Golem is a good distraction, so we can attack the MK from 3 sides. The next combination is with the Spear Goblins. If you position the Spear Goblins to the middle line, they will split briefly, which will come in handy, so the MK needs more time to clear them. This will give us some extra time to pull this counter off without taking any damage. You can even use the Suspicious Bush next to it. Suspicious Bush. Suspicious Bush. Man, it's hard to pronounce this one. But if you use that card, you just have to place it near the landing zone of the MK, so they'll pop out of their disguise and assist with the defense. My last suggestion next to the Golem is with the bats. And this one isn't really hard, you just have to be on time with the placement of the Ice Golem. But if you don't use this Golem, you can also use Spear Goblins next to the bats. In this case you have to deploy the bats very soon, because the Spear Goblins won't stall the MK for a very long time. If you deploy them around the Mega Knight, you'll have to take 3 swings to take them out. So you probably already know you can also use the regular Goblins for it. Just make sure you surround the MK. There's even a 3 elixir combination with the bats, and that one is with the Ice Spirit. I got 2 simultaneous examples to show you that the placement with the Ice Spirit will work with different positions as long as you place him in the blue box. That brings us to the next, the Barbarian Barrel, also very nice to pronounce. In all these examples you need to deploy the bats soon, cause they'll need all the time they can get to do maximum damage. Let's stay with the Barb Barrel and do the combination with the Suspicious Bush. Try to lure the MK to the middle closer to the second tower and use the jump damage again to surprise the Mega Knight with the 2 goblins. The Barb Barrel and the Bomber will also work together, but in this case I'm using a higher bomber placement. The Barb Barrel won't stay alive as long as the Ice Golem, so we have to find a way to buy some extra time. And with this placement the MK is forced to take some extra steps before he can jump our tower. You can use the Goblins in this case too. Just position both cards close to the middle line so the Spear Goblins will spread again. You can counter the MK and get a King Tower activation as a bonus. A 1 Elixir card next to the cannon is also an easy option. Just use a Spirit or Skeletons to lure the MK to the middle and the cannon will do the rest. I know the Skeleton and Spirit combination can be used as a cheap way to get a King Tower activation, but I think everybody already saw this once and I also have it in a previous video. I'll put the link in the top corner right now. I've seen a lot of videos where the Goblin Gang is able to counter the MK completely alone, but I think it's really hard to pull off, so I would suggest an extra Spirit next to them. You can also use the Skeletons for this, but I don't think there are a lot of decks that use both cards in one deck. I've got 2 examples with the Gods and the Ice Spirit, because the order of placement of these 2 isn't really important, because both situations are almost equally strong. Left situation was assisted by the other tower, but the only difference in outcome is the remaining shield of the first god. You can also use different ways in sequence with the minor Skeletons combination. You can use one card to lure the Mega Knight to the middle and the remaining other card to finish him off. Both options will work, but the first is slightly better because you have some remaining Skeletons alive. Another variation of this is with the Ice Spirit instead of the Skeletons. Instead of the Miner, you can use the Royal Ghost too, another 3 Elixir card that's strong enough to stop the MK. I've got 2 examples again, one with the Ice Spirit and one with the Skeletons. With the Spirit it's better to pull the battle to the middle, and with the Skeletons you can already take him out close to the bridge. The Skeleton army isn't enough to stop him completely alone, so I would suggest to use a Spirit next to it. It doesn't matter if it's the Electro, Ice, Heal or Fire Spirit, as long you use it to pull the battle to the middle, where you can get strong assistance of the other tower. Next to the Ice Spirit, you can also use the minions instead of the bats. The placement is the same, minions as soon as possible and a Spirit to let the MK jump back. And the last example of the combos is the Firecracker in combination with a Spirit. Release the Firecracker when the MK reaches its side of the bridge. Because of the recoil, the MK isn't able to eliminate you right away. During its pursuit, we can release a Spirit to distract him. In this way, you'll get a King Tower activation as well. The next counter is a 3-card combo with a Spirit, the Barb Barrel and the Skeletons, like this. But if you have the evolved Ice Spirit, you can even counter the evolved Mega Knight, like this. Instead of the Barb Barrel, you can also use the Ice Golem next to the Skeletons and the Ice Spirit. And after this counter I have a couple of other options, but I doubt anybody plays all these cards in one deck. Still, I like to show them to you, so here they are. That's it. That was my last example. If you have a comment or a suggestion, please let me know. I'm always happy to read them. I hope to see you back for my future videos. Thank you for watching.